Hello and welcome to the Too Much Time on Our Hands stream, and also welcome to the podcast as well if you are listening to it. Obviously, when I talk about stream, I'm not talking about a babbling brook making its way down from the top of a mountain after the water cycle has evaporated that water from the rivers and the oceans and taken it to the top of that mountain and placed it. I am, of course, talking about YouTube. If you're watching us on YouTube, hello, wave, everyone. That's why they're here. Wave.
Hello.
Wave.
Hello.
You thought I'd frozen, but I hadn't.
Wave, they're here.
Nobody thought that for a second. Looked like you were just sort of struggling with a particularly reluctant bowel movement.
So it was almost as if Dan's physical stream had frozen over and he wasn't able to poop. We're here again. It's the Too Much Time on Our Hands podcast. You are joining us again for a very special one. It is Star Trek Day. So to all you Trekkies out there, happy Star Trek Day.
Happy Star Trek Day. Han Solo's my favourite.
If this is a national holiday for you, then tremendous, brilliant.
May the 4th be with you.
May the 4th be with you, absolutely. There's a 4th, isn't there?
Why is it today?
I don't know. It's because I think it's just because Star Wars gets a day, so Star Trek wants a day as well. Is it like Unity Day or something?
Shouldn't it be like the 17th of January, so it's like 1701? Is that the number?
Oh my God, Russ. Why are you not doing Star Trek's marketing? Just all of it.
Well, because these things are all decided in the US, aren't they? So it'd be the other way round, and there's not 17 months in the year.
Star Trek-ting. I haven't had much sleep.
So, the one with glasses is Russ.
Am I the only one with glasses?
Yeah, I've just taken mine off to not confuse anyone.
Yeah, you speak twat.
Yeah, but I'm going to put them back on now that I've said the one with glasses. Now,
you could have gone for the prematurely grey one.
The other prematurely grey. I think I take that. You're younger than me. You're older than me, so.
Yeah, but I've been this grey for 10 years.
Ah, fair dues. Well, it's unfortunate. Dan still got lots of hair. Dan, say hi to everyone.
He really has.
Hello.
And
Hello.
he's got it. It's everywhere.
Got it. Whatever he's got, bottle that, because I want some of that.
I need a haircut quite desperately.
All right, don't go on about it.
You need mowing, is what you need.
Yeah.
Although, do you want to see something shocking that Dan actually commented on last time he saw me in person?
Look at that.
It's back on, man. There's actually hair. Although, as someone pointed out to me, I do look like a walnut whip with that hair just clumped on top. Like, so cheeky and delicious. And I'm Tom. Hello. As you can tell,
I bloody love a walnut whip, but I haven't bought one for 30 years.
Sorry, no, tell a lie. You can only get them at Christmas.
Yeah, you can only get them at Christmas. You can only get them on Walnut
Why don't people
Day.
just buy walnut whips more? There's something that you get offered. You go to someone's house and they say, "Oh, do you want a walnut whip?" And you're like, "Oh, yes, I bloody love walnut whips." But why don't you buy them?
No. What everyone does when they get that sort of offer is they go, "Oh, I shouldn't." Okay, I'll have that.
Shouldn't.
Yeah, I'll have two. Yeah, all right.
Yeah, and then
three.
seconds later, they're like tonguing the last of the whip out.
Yeah.
They're just really awkward to eat, though, aren't they? That's the problem.
Yeah, but I think therein lies some of the satisfaction. It's like nobody would say that a cream egg is a pleasurable flavour experience, but there is something satisfying about eating one.
Yeah, especially in like August.
Also, like most things, it's only awkward if you make it awkward. If you really commit to making eye contact with people while you are tonguing a walnut whip, then it's not awkward, it's just weird.
Using your tongue to melt through the casing from the inside out while staring fixedly into someone's eyes.
Yeah, so eventually you just have this weird chocolate tube around your tongue.
Yeah. Chocolatey drool down that you make no effort to remove.
Congealed in your beard.
Yeah.
A little bit.
Well, yes, tea was lovely. We must do this again. Thank you.
Well, I can't stand up for the rest of this podcast then.
Yeah.
So Dan's actually pointed out that 8th of September 1966 was when Star Trek first appeared.
I knew somebody would know. Nerd Army to the rescue.
Thank you, Dan.
Well
Fuck
done,
you, Wikipedia.
Dan. Yeah, we don't need Wikipedia. We've got a Dan.
Unless, of course, Dan just went on Wikipedia.
Yeah.
Good enough. No,
Well
I think
done,
you knew
Dan.
that shit. Yeah.
So little did you know there, Dan, but you've absolutely massively contributed to the quality of this podcast, which is probably
In fact, it
going
doesn't
to
take a lot.
descend off a knife edge tonight.
Some would say that we'd been going down a hill and you just managed to just nudge us a little bit back further up the hill before we
just a little bit. It's like trying to push. It's like trying to push water up a hill, isn't it?
Yep.
With this, yeah, like trying to pick a lock with a float.
What was
Never gonna
REM
happen.
said?
Did a lot of like water table and water cycle stuff today. Have you been like revising GCSE geography?
It may have appeared in some of my son's books
Mm-hmm.
that he's reading at the moment. The water cycle, it's like I always love that bit in The Young Ones, where it's the one where they have the Good Life flashback, and Neil is talking to Rick about how amazing it is that we sow the seed, nature grows the seed, and then we eat the seed, and then we sow the seed, and then nature grows the seed, and then we eat the seed, and just goes round and round and round. And I like the fact the water cycle is just like water flows downhill, evaporates into a cloud, rains at the top, it collects, and then it's just always happening. Never stops. It's not like someone turning off a tap to fill up the reservoir at the top. It just keeps going. It's always going.
Someone's running all the way from Scotland to desperately get involved in this conversation.
Yeah. Oh, that's it. We should really fuck him off by actually sort of getting major inconsistencies.
Yeah. Like, okay, quick.
I don't know what.
He won't listen.
Just a very quick. God, that's Gridiron Gentleman. Fucking hell. Very quick. Searching question. Are dolphins fish? Yes.
No, they're mammals.
But are they in the sea?
Yes, definitely fish.
Dolphins are fish. There we go. Now that's a fact. You can't argue with that.
The one defining thing that makes you a fish is flippers. So basically everything that's got flippers is a fish, even sea lions and penguins.
What's the line in Community? What's the difference between people and animals? Feet.
Feet. Absolutely feet. Except for muntjacs who have tiny hoofs instead.
Hooves.
Have you ever noticed how they have two?
Yeah.
I don't know how they stand up, quite frankly.
They're so cute.
They're what's called, I believe, an ungulate.
Oh, right. I like to call them Newton's mystery.
Yeah.
Gravity's acting against them, but their tiny feet, they hold them up. Amazing.
Every day is something of a school day. No, I know. Look, Phil. Yeah, dolphins are mammals, but they're not. They're fish.
Yeah, they're like salt water. Love it. Can't get enough of it.
A good
that's
animal
fish.
fact for if you're talking to very impressionable people or toddlers is to try and convince them that you get left-hand drive and right-hand drive sheep for standing on hills facing in different directions. They've got like a short leg and a long leg on either side.
Yeah.
So a left-hand drive sheep can only go that way, and a right-hand drive sheep can only go around the hill that way.
The conversation in the chat has gone off. Starts Phil has said, "Don't worry, guys, I'm here. Let's all accept that Riker is our Lord and Saviour." Yeah, he's just up there looking after us, the pervy little prick.
Hopping over chairs and copping off with all the aliens.
Like a bell end as well, yeah.
To be fair, I'm not even sure which one he is.
Yeah, this is going to be an interesting podcast for you, Tom. I was thinking
not really,
about that.
because we're going to talk about the holodeck, and I'm all in with the holodeck. I'm all in.
So if you were serving on the Enterprise, you would be like, "Yeah, I'm not actually sure which one Riker is. Guys, I've got to get back in there."
Yeah, I only came out. What was it? I only came out for a bag of peanuts and a glass of coconut water.
So you come out. The data is standing there, going, "Oh, Riker, excellent, nice to meet you. Anyway, goodbye. Keep it going. Would you lock the door?"
I mean, we've already established.
Get the cleaning crew in.
We've already established that the holodeck is technology that none of us could be trusted with to use properly.
That no person could be trusted with.
Before we get into this, well, I will finish what's going on in the chat. Dan says, "I've never seen a nipple on a dolphin, so it can't be a mammal." Phil says they breastfeed, which makes them mammals. And then Phil says, "Well then, sir, you haven't lived," in regard to the nipple on the mammal.
It's like, if I personally have not seen a nipple on it, it ain't a mammal. Unless I have milked it, it doesn't count as a mammal.
Oh, that's horrid.
Not even talking about the species. Each individual one.
I bet dolphin milk is like the oiliest sort of cod liver oil.
Yeah, I imagine it comes out like a little lumpy.
Jamie
curdled.
says the fabled haggis is a Scottish animal that has legs shorter on one side to stand on a mountain.
Yep, true.
What is haggis? Haggis is like sheep bladder with stuff in it, isn't it?
sheep's.
Well, I mean, I think pretty much always these days it's a synthetic casing, like a sausage casing.
Yeah, and people
sausages
say
aren't
it's
actually made
delicious
in lengths of intestine
because
anymore.
basically it's just filled with tons of spices and herbs.
Yeah, it's amazing.
So, yeah, and they go, oh my god, it's so delicious that I'm eating all this disgusting stuff because
there's nothing disgusting. It's got some awfully type stuff in it, but it's not disgusting.
Awful is just a horrible word.
You know what awful means these days? It means like eyes, lips, toes,
Eyes, arseholes,
whatever, arseholes. Yeah.
Eyes and arseholes. If it's not winking at you one way, it's winking at you the other way.
Dan says if he's doubling down. If he hasn't seen it, then it doesn't exist.
Well, that's true. I mean, actually, most people have that policy where if it's not on the internet and I haven't personally seen it on a Reddit post, then it doesn't exist.
That's most COVID deniers, isn't it?
That is. There are COVID deniers in St Albans.
It's too small to exist.
Oh, I heard about this, Tom. This pissed me off. Yeah.
Oh yeah. We had some travelling nutters outside the vaccination bus in the town centre.
Indeed. So
they weren't. They obviously they were there for one day and then they're gone. So I'm assuming that they weren't local nutters and that they had come specifically. But it was a real dick move because it was like a couple of days before the end of the holidays and it's when all the 16 and 17-year-olds were meant to be going to get their jabs. Although I imagine most of them would just laugh at them and then put them on TikTok.
My favourite picture is that picture of them holding up the signs to the school bus. And there's the kid just doing this at them on the school bus. It is absolutely amazing.
It's brilliant. British school kids, man.
Get vaccinated.
Yeah, 100%. Go get vaccinated.
Do get vaccinated. Don't believe the shit that those arseholes put on their signs.
No.
It's not Bill Gates' chip or 5G signals being injected directly into your arm. It's a fucking synthetic protein that's made to look like the virus so that your body recognises it if you do catch COVID.
Also, I mean, like, I wouldn't mind having 5G connectivity directly into my brain. We're all going that way anyway.
I'm kind of all for the whole Johnny Mnemonic thing, so yeah, let's do it.
I am so up for going post-human. I mean, look, I already wear glasses, and I
don't think wearing glasses is enough to call yourself a transhuman.
but if I could, I would literally have my smartphone here. In I mean, if that was possible, if I could get overlay, the second it's able to be beamed directly into my eyeball, that's it. I'll have it done. But I'll buy a Steam Deck first, and see how that works out. See how that works out, and then.
Hey, do you know where you could live that life, Tom? On the holodeck. Sorry, I'll bring it back. It was my fault. I derailed it, so I thought I'd hop it back on the tracks. Yeah, so the goal of tonight is to draw a line under any holodeck conversation. I can't guarantee we'll succeed, but the goal is to just have an hour-long session, get all our weird ideas about the holodeck out there, all our thoughts, all our questions, and then it's done. We move on from the holodeck.
Although it's looking more like 40 minutes at the moment, but yes, a session. 45. A session. Yes, absolutely. And I like that phrase of to draw a line under it. We've tried to draw a line under many things over the history of this podcast, and there are many subjects that we keep going back to. I mean, remember that time we tried to draw a line under Inside and how much we loved it, and we ended up doing at least 3 or 4 podcasts after that talking about how great it was.
We've barely mentioned it since, though, which
That's
is nice.
true.
Yeah, we've largely got it out of our system.
Yeah, we should probably play it again.
Oh, it is really good.
Really
should we just talk about Inside for the next one?
When it inevitably gets re-released on something else, we'll talk about it then.
It was free on Epic for a while, wasn't it?
It was.
Yeah, it was. I think I've got it on my my library.
Here we are talking about Inside. I honestly didn't mean to do that. Fucking hell.
Literally all my free time has been taken up with Lawnmower Simulator recently.
I'm so jealous. I might download that.
It's amazing. It's relaxing.
You see, I'm more tempted by Pressure Washer Simulator.
I don't know. I don't know. There's a lot of skill in Lawnmower Simulator, and also it's just very involving. It sort of gives you a projected time. It's like this lawn will take you 40 minutes to cut, and you're like, yeah, what game minutes? What's that? It's going to take me 15 minutes in real life. No, it'll take you 40 minutes, trundling up and down a lawn, and then going, I missed a little bit over there. and then trundling back over there. It's amazing. It's wonderful.
So
Lawnmower Simulator.
Yeah.
Right.
Desperate to try to get us back on track. If you were to go into the holodeck, would you effectively load up Lawnmower Simulator?
I'd mow lawns.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what the last week or so of playing Lawnmower Simulator has told me. It's the ultimate relaxation technique. So
Is
you
it
just
relaxing
have
then?
a beautiful... You don't want it to be like... You imagine like just a perfectly square field. That'd be the easiest to mow, but you want a bit of challenge. So you want some curves, you want a few flower beds in there.
You
Maybe
get
a
the stripes as
pagoda,
well.
a little stream.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, if you're going to go stripe, then that's a much more... you've got to concentrate a lot harder. So it's less relaxing, but more rewarding if you're going to stripe your lawn.
And as you progress through the game, before we touch on holodecks and stuff, do you get better mowers? Is it like a progression thing?
Tom, of course you do. Absolutely. It's got the
Yes.
standard X simulator career mode type thing attached to it. So you start off with one bloke and a lawnmower, and you can hire staff, and you get better lawnmowers and better headquarters, and you've got to maintain them. You can buy accessories for them. So you can save up to get that
amazing.
stripe roller kit or the clamshell grass collector. Amazing.
Okay, this is
Dan,
now
you laugh,
rapidly-
but if you had gone through weeks of mowing a lawn with a side discharge plate attached and having to go back and collect and remulch all of the clippings, getting the built-in clamshell collector makes a huge difference.
Sorry, Russ. Yeah, you're right.
The thing that amuses me most is that you are earnestly becoming an expert in this kind of shit.
Oh
And
yeah, but I'm pretty sure if I ever sat on a real ride-on lawnmower, I'd just drive it straight into a house.
yeah. Okay, so holodecks.
Yeah.
I certainly wouldn't load up lawn mowing.
No.
That's not what the holodeck is for.
No, the holodeck is for horrific ethical violations.
It really is. So that's what we've learned so far from Star Trek, right? Lieutenant Barclay seems to spend most of his time in there, and all he's doing
Yeah.
is banging the other people that are on the Enterprise.
Yeah, or punching Riker.
Yeah, and that doesn't seem to be a problem. You can just do that.
I mean, yeah, so he has access to complete physical and personality replicas of any of the crew, apparently. And what he's doing is still at the low end of the horrificness scale that this thing can. I mean, the holodeck is basically a god machine. It can create sentient life.
That you can then
And it's
destroy.
popped in as an entertainment option.
Here's a question then. Someone's already mentioned this. If you poop in the holodeck, what happens to the poop?
So
I'm
I
pretty
believe
sure
we
that
have
we've
covered
answered
this
this.
at length.
Have we?
So the Enterprise employs matter recollection technology, doesn't it? So you basically, it's a combination of the replicator and the transporter and force fields is what makes the holodeck work. So anything that is waste would get collected up, broken down into its component molecules, and then used by the replicator system to make new things.
So if I poop into a fake toilet in the holodeck,
Yeah.
or on
The
Captain
floor.
Picard's chest,
Yeah.
then when the program finishes, it knows to take away the poop with the hologram.
You'd hope so, yeah. So when it goes back to the cube with the yellow squares, everything gets... So anything in the holodeck that you interact with is something that's been replicated and then transported into place, I think, or like replicated there and then. So it is a physical object that you can touch. It uses force fields, I think, to like create effects and stuff. I mean, this obviously, when they were writing this, they put zero thought into the whole thing, and then the people on whatever the Star Trek equivalent of Wikipedia have come up with loads of reverse engineered solutions to how this thing works.
So say I was to have a drink in the holodeck, right? It would actually be an actual drink. 'Cause it uses
Yeah, it'd be like the same as when
replicators,
you sit there going tea, Earl Grey, hot, and it
Yeah.
appears. It is a real drink. But if you are in a bar and there's like shelves of drinks, they might not be real. They might just be projected holograms. Until you reached out and touched one, and then it'd like swap in a real one.
When it disappears, does it take it out of your stomach as well then?
I mean, I think you could assume that with the like level of technology that they seem to have, it would sort of acknowledge
No.
that anything that you ate or drank, it would probably leave in you. But then what if you went in there and just did a bunch of crystal meth? Which sounds bad, but like I think on the moral scale, that is less bad than going in, creating copies of your crewmates, and then interfering with them.
And fingering them, yeah. You can't. It's much.
I see that this is. I quite like that idea of like the holodeck being a place where you can very safely try some mind-expanding drugs, and actually be like, you know, I'm going to load up the crack den apartment, and I would like a bag of crystal meth, please. Like, you know, cut though. I don't want good quality stuff. I want street meth, and I'm going to smoke this meth, and I'm going to have a great time. Or not, don't know. I'd try it all. I think it would be a really nice really nice experience, you know, to try everything.
Next question then.
Take lots of drugs.
Would you get addicted to crystal meth if you smoked crystal meth in the holodeck?
No, because it's Star Trek and there'll be a pill for that.
Yeah, there would be a pill for that. Or it could, like, teleport the molecules out of your system before they had a chance to do anything.
Okay, then
like
what about the food, though? Like, say you eat something.
No, because it knows it's food. Because like Russ said, the replicator needs your poop to keep going. So the replicator's not going to be mean. It's not going to take the food away. Cause it's like, I need that to be poo.
But it's going to remove...
do my stuff.
Because pretty much all the food they eat on the Enterprise is replicated, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's poo. Now, this is the thing, right? So poo is the body's waste, right? And I know if you break it down into its component molecules and stuff like that, but by the end of like a 5-year mission, that food's got to be...
There's a real tang starting to creep into the food.
It's got to start getting bland. You know what I mean? Like there's no amount of pepper that's going to take away that aftertaste.
They're not even trying anymore. It's just a turd in a bowl.
Yeah, just
still warm.
This paste is really weird. I don't like
also,
it.
like, stuff does
Too
get
much air
consumed by your body, doesn't it? Like, it's not a one-in, one-out system. If you eat a chicken, you don't get
poop a chicken.
Exactly one chicken's weight of turd coming out of you afterwards.
No,
so they must have to sort of top up the system with other
I think
resources.
the man from Scotland's just ran past Birmingham.
Mm-hmm.
Still, we know more about this than him, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like also, poo is the colour it is mainly because of dead blood cells. So you're not exactly getting prime food ingredients from you know, recycling your poop.
But like it's breaking it down to like an atomic level. So it's not poo. It's some, you know,
something else.
Some what are people made of?
Yeah.
Basically 3 things that people are made of, aren't they? It's like oxygen, nitrogen, and water. They're all atoms.
If there's 6 hot dogs and one of them is steaming, like, leave that one. I'm gonna have the other one. I'm gonna have the one furthest from the steaming hot dog. Okay, so, all right, you're in the holodeck. You're eating poo, like so.
But then that's no different to every other day on the Enterprise, apparently.
You're waking up. I have to wake up every day on this goddamn ship and eat shit.
They supplement the poo with dead red shirts.
Yeah. If there's been no dangerous missions, they just feed a few straight into the intake hopper every now and then.
This definitely tastes like Ensign Struthers.
They're always ensigns, aren't they?
Yeah. Well, yeah, because they don't get a chance to progress through the ranks.
Is ensign like the lowest rank? Is that like?
No, I think you can just be. And Barclay sweat from his holodeck robs.
Yeah. But Barclay's holodeck usage probably takes up a good 35% of the power usage of the entire ship.
You can imagine Geordie LaForge just in the engine room. You see the boom, boom, boom from like the engine, the crystal.
Meth core.
Crystal chamber.
The dilithium crystal meth core.
Yeah, and you can tell.
Check out some of that.
Ba-dum, 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 ba-dum. Oh, Barclay's in the holodeck again. Ba-dum, 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 ba-dum.
Barclay looking withered and dehydrated apart from his one massive right arm.
He's added Ensign Rowe this time, so okay, cool.
See, but that's the other question then. Is he just making these people appear and then hide him in the cupboard with a video recorder and just whack it off?
So
I'm sure that's one of his scenarios, yeah.
It is genuinely meant to be this story of like, oh, look how poor old shy Lieutenant Barclay, when he's in the holodeck, he's really confident. But it kind of, because then he's like the hero in like all the stories of, and then it's Beverly Crusher and Troy that he's.
I mean, of course it is.
Stories. Yeah. But
Yeah.
but now looking back at it, 30 years ago, it kind of comes across as these are the people that we warn people about on the internet now. Like the internet nice. This is very much the internet nice guy. I'm a nice guy. Why won't they go out with me? Oh God.
Yeah, like what he's doing in the holodeck is what people are doing with like deepfake technology now.
Yeah. He's essentially an incel. And let's not. I mean, he is, right? I'm not fucking.
Well,
around
yeah,
here.
basically, yeah.
I'm not even sure what an incel is. Incel meaning.
We're not getting into that now, because what that word literally means is not really connected with the community. It's a bunch of arseholes is basically what it is.
Yeah, it says an incel is a member of an online subculture of people who define themselves as unable to get a romantic or sexual partner despite desiring one. Yeah.
But what they actually are is a bunch of
that's
complete shits.
Yeah.
Which has
Phil
nothing
does
to
say
do
that Troy
with
and
that
Crusher is a
definition.
sandwich I would dearly love to fill, though.
That is outrageous. And
Yeah.
to be fair, it's the sort of thing that probably most people expected that I would say, but I didn't.
Well, also, it's probably a little bit like, I think you'd probably find that, maybe for your first week, but you can do literally anything in there. So your tastes are probably going to start to get a bit more weird fairly soon.
That's what I'm
Worf
thinking,
is going
like-
to start showing up in stuff.
I'm going to be on the bridge, right? Because I figure I'm an ensign. I'll be one of the guys that occasionally pilots the Enterprise. They get the people to pilot the Enterprise that have very little experience, the giant spaceship.
The B team.
Yep, no worries, get them to do that.
or like you've won it in a raffle.
Yeah, but I'm
Pilot
going to
the
be looking.
Enterprise.
I'm going to be looking around every now and then, and I'm going to be looking at Patrick Stewart. I'm going to be looking at Picard's head, and I'm going to be thinking, and I'm going to be looking at Picard's head, and I'm going to like, yeah, I reckon I could do that in the holodeck. And the next thing is me playing his head like a bongo. Like,
I mean, that's weird.
yeah, I kind of think that there should be. I don't like the idea of control, like people being able to see things that you get up to. But
Well, I mean,
Internet
apparently
history.
the sort of the only sort of like reasonableness control is the fact that the doors don't seem to lock on the holodeck, and anyone can wander in at any moment into whatever you're doing.
The more the merrier. I
Yeah.
say more the merrier.
Even if you've switched off the don't kill people option, because that's not hardwired into the system, you can just say, oh yeah, turn the safeties off. And the computer's like, did it? Fine. And yeah, people can just stroll right in there. So maybe they're assuming like, well, people won't do anything weird if people would just walk in on them, would they?
I mean, to be fair though, if I'm on my drug binge at the point, all they're going to find is me either clawing at my own eyeballs or lying face down, giggling. There's not much going on in there. Tom's on. Ensign Tom is on his meth again.
Yeah.
I think it's got to be like an honor system, isn't it? So like you got, what is it in the Rogers Brythanosaurus, the sonic bog lock, when there's no lock on the toilet, but you hear someone coming, so you start coughing loudly to let them know that you're in there.
Sonic Boglog.
Yeah,
But I mean, that works fine in a festival Portaloo, but it could get quite noisy in some of these holodeck simulations.
true.
You might not hear somebody padding along the carpeted corridor outside.
Just put a chair against the door.
So let's go for some stuff. I mean, look, obviously, if you had holodeck technology, because I'm a Bond fan, I would want to be Bond in my own Bond adventure of some sort.
Yeah,
and,
absolutely.
All the death-defying stuff, the scrapes, the girls, live the full experience. And then play it as a woman, one of James's conquests, so that I can see it from the other side and appreciate actually that at points he goes a bit too far, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
Especially if it's 70s Bond, if it's Roger
Yeah.
Moore, that era where it was all a bit,
Yeah.
safari suits and neckerchiefs. You know what I mean? Weird.
Yeah, it's an odd look.
Was.
Some of Moore's.
Yeah, I mean, people look at
Ensemble.
Daniel Craig now and they go, "Man, that is a clean look." He's got the
Time to buy
handkerchief in the.
Buy a little neckerchief at all there, Daniel?
I think Daniel in a safari suit and a neckerchief like Roger Moore in 70s Bond
Well, they
films.
did the little blue trunks, didn't they, in Casino Royale? So, yeah, the safari suit. That's the next homage outfit.
Yeah, there we go.
Maybe that's in No Time to Die. We'll never know.
Who will know? And also other bits and bobs I think would be quite fun would be to, I think with holodeck technology, you could probably put some of your very favourite video games and turn them into
absolutely. I
programs
think
you
there's
could
so
run.
many of these.
And that'd be badass, and do it all properly first person. Like, actually a good, like, you know, by then, the remake of Skyrim, you know, like...
Skyrim is definitely getting ported to the holodeck. They will still be re-releasing it. And I'll still be rebuying it.
Yeah. I'll buy a whole damn holodeck.
They've just released it for the holodeck. Yeah, okay, I'll do Skyrim.
Yeah, fair dues. Yeah, let's play that.
Although, I don't know, Skyrim... A lot of walking. There's a lot of effort involved in being the PC in Skyrim. You spend most of your time trudging around through an icy wilderness.
You could probably skip, though. You could probably fast travel on a holodeck.
If I could import one of my old saves from the Xbox into the holodeck version of Skyrim, and then, I'd have fast travel unlocked all over the place. That'd be fine.
Yeah, there we go. So see, that kind of stuff. Okay, so I've done the safe and simple sort of stuff. I did say to my wife before I came on air, like, it would be awesome to be able to walk into the holodeck and just be like, 10 Jolies. And go. But you know, it's probably not for public consumption what happens next. Needless to say, hot tub full of jelly, and let's go to town, guys. Let's go to town. Not you guys. No, I'm talking about me and not you two. You're not coming in. Not at all. Not you. Nor any of you. So don't get any ideas. It's just me and my 10 wives.
But now, because you said that, when you do that in the holodeck, your subconscious is going to pop a little me and a little Dan in there instead, and that's all you'll get.
But all you guys are going to be
tub
doing,
of jelly.
You're going to be relegated to handing out water. You're in little blue swimming shorts. Water. Yes, sir. Water. Yeah.
This water tastes like shit. Well.
And every now and then, when I come back out, when I get out of the hot tub and I sit down and I'm looking really tired, you two are the guys who are going to be, you know, like towel around my neck, give me a pep talk. Come on, you're doing so good. Come on, feel the burn off, push the envelope.
You got her on the ropes.
Yeah, you're doing so good. You guys are doing brilliantly. You're so good. You're so good. And then, you know, have a water and then go, guys, go back to your corner.
Well, that's horrifying.
But
there are a lot of computer games that would be excellent in the holodeck.
It's all inclusive. It's inclusive. I want you guys to enjoy it too.
Mario Kart.
Yeah, oh god, Mario Kart would be incredible.
You guys are just skating past this now, aren't you?
Oh, we're desperately trying to move on.
I don't want to.
You seem to really want to involve us in this conversation.
Yeah.
Well, I thought we were friends, but you know, just maybe not. Maybe not.
I don't want to be the guy that gives you a pep talk when your 10 wives are too much for you.
It's not too much for me. It's just I need a break every now and then. It's like when I look like, you know, I'm just you know, I'm really tired. I want to go to sleep. They're like, no, come on, keep going.
They keep telling me to sort out those shelves.
Yeah, you do. Yeah, absolutely. That's how it would devolve, wouldn't it? It would start off all awesome, and then someone would say, "Oh, I've noticed the gate's not opening properly," or "the light in the garage and needs fixing," and then that's it. Spices. Put the spices back in the spice rack.
You don't put the spices back on the spice rack.
No.
I mean that is unforgivable behaviour.
Grounds for divorce.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah, pretty much. Not in the holodeck, my friend.
Not in the holodeck. You just leave
in
vacuum in wherever you finish it with it.
It's all gravy. I can shit on the floor, and apparently the replicators will deal with it.
I'm still not certain about that one.
If you assumed that, and then on your first day on the Enterprise, you went into the holodeck and you just shit everywhere, and you walk out, and then the next person is like, "What the fuck have you been doing in there? What is wrong with you?" Oh, I'm sorry. I thought we all did that.
It's just a giant turd just sitting in the middle of like this immaculate black and yellow room.
I mean, it would be like smeared and handprints and stuff all over the walls.
Yeah. Is someone going to get that, or
should I give it a wipe down?
Then we've got a dustpan and brush. Trying to dustpan and brush that up. Oh, God.
It'd be awesome for like recreating some of your like heyday activities. So you could recreate the sort of party you used to go to when you were 20, that kind of thing, without having to worry about cleaning up in the morning with a hangover.
Now that's interesting.
That's why my first thought was Glastonbury.
Yeah, do a little festival.
I'd go to like a best of Glastonbury.
But you have the option to control the weather.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Do you know what the weather would be? Cloudy,
slightly
and a bit
overcast.
Cool. Slightly overcast.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. The whole time. Yeah.
And you would also have the option for electric kicks to play the main stage.
Yeah.
Yeah, you could craft it so
Headline.
it's like, Jay-Z's pulled out, and then Michael Eavis rolls up to you in his Land Rover, and he's got all your kit in the back.
Dan!
And just
Jay-Z's pulled out. We need you now. We need you. You and your soft version of alternative rock. we need you.
Walks into my tent, and there I am, just like zipping up, and Nathan Fillion's just like hastily putting his clothes back on, like, yeah, I'm ready to go.
Yeah. And walk out.
What's happened to your voice?
That's my holodeck voice, Russ.
Mm-hmm.
Guess
And
I better
then-
go headline Glastonbury.
And then digital versions of me, Sean, and Anne appear.
Yeah. Oh, they're here.
We're here.
I thought I was going to get Neil Young.
Yeah.
Okay.
So lonely. Let's do this. So lonely.
Ah, cool. Yeah.
And I'll sing all the vaguely unsettling lyrics I made up about Sean. I want you, Sean. I want you, Shawnee.
It did just evolve into.
It did just evolve into
That was amazing. But yeah. So I would even just go to Glastonbury in the holodeck. I think that would just be fun.
I would play some intricate and epic scale games of 40k without having to paint any of the models or build any scenery or set them up. It'd just be
most
there,
people
ready to go.
Most people that collect 40k models, that's part of the fun, not something that gets in the way, right?
Yeah, but it's a faff, isn't it?
It is, yeah.
If you want to actually play a game with a completely painted army, I mean, literally nobody in the history of Games Workshop has ever achieved that.
No.
I haven't. Because I picked Imperial Guard and I've got 200 models that I still need to paint at some point in my life.
You've been saying that for 25 years.
Yep.
25 years, man.
No, these are more recent. These are like 10 years old. So.
Okay.
Because I chucked out those 200 that I haven't painted from before and replaced them with the new ones.
And then rebought them all back off eBay.
Yeah.
So what about something like LARPing even as well? Like how great would like live action roleplay be?
Yeah, because you could actually kill motherfuckers.
Exactly. Yeah.
Apparently that's fine in there.
And also,
Perfectly
your
fine.
costume wouldn't look homemade. In the holodeck, it would look awesome.
Yeah.
And actually, like, if I was thinking, like, that this is a perfect way. Imagine if this was the way that we actually played D&D. Was that, I could be Sullen.
Yeah.
Russ was Ember. We were our characters.
And Dan was
and
like
we
this
were-
looming hooded presence hovering in the sky.
literally in the sky, like
Oh, I'm cool with
Treyguard.
And you
That
just
would be
hear
quite cool.
as a giant turd just dropped out of the sky.
Because
Sorry, guys, I
Worf
needed
has,
to test
like,
it out.
he has like, didn't he call them his calisthenics programs or something, where it's basically him getting attacked by people,
Yeah.
and like he could get injured, and other people go in there and get hurt by the mysterious baddies he has assailing him. So he's actually like killing people in there. So apparently that's allowed. So yeah, you could do full on
it's
LARPing.
probably not going to make you weird at all, is it? Killing people.
No, it's going to make you ready to act. If you know what I mean. It's going to
Yeah,
make
to
you...
be fair, Worf, it kind of makes sense. Chief of security. You want him sharp, don't you?
as a scalpel.
Yeah.
And also,
You're right,
I think
Dan,
it's
you keep
worth
looking down.
just looking into the fact that the
Looking at my
holodeck
cock.
the holodeck will create things that can
Finger hurts.
injure you and kill you,
Yeah.
and it
Yeah,
it will
seems
just
like
do
a
that.
design flaw.
I learned
Like-
from my mistakes.
But how many do you,
I don't know.
How
if
many-
any of us is.
members of the crew do you think they've lost who've gone, I really want to climb a mountain? but I want to really climb a mountain. And then just like fallen off, and somehow it's simulated like a continual fall.
Yeah, and I mean, in that case, that would be that like the sort of the force field or something has like picked you up and then slammed you into the ground to simulate what you specified.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, if you do that, then you don't really deserve to have the holodeck.
Well, you don't get it.
Nobody deserves the holodeck.
Yeah.
No, because I don't know. I think we've got some good ideas as to how to use this. And I think we've earned our right, really.
Yeah. So apart from being a disgusting sex box, the other main purpose of the holodeck seems to be creating copies of people like Hitler and Moriarty and letting them wander around the ship.
Yep.
That's a very poor application of that technology.
Computer, create Hitler. Computer, take all safety measures off.
Yeah.
Whoops. That was probably a bad idea. Just giving Hitler.
But seeing as it can just
starship.
create perfect copies of people and have them bimble around, there are some more sort of just probably a bit more innocuous, just fun people to have around that you could have just bimbling about the ship.
How fucking big a head do you have to be to think that you're going to be like Sherlock Holmes and be able to take down Moriarty as well? Like, how fucking egotistical do you have to be to think that?
I do actually one of the best Picard's like 50s detective fantasy that he has.
Yeah, that was good.
That looks like a lot of fun.
Yeah. Yeah, that would be fun. Like your own detective agency. Like you could even just like have this long running campaign that every Wednesday you pop in there and you just sit in your detective agency, and sometimes people come and they ask for help, and sometimes you just sit there.
Sometimes it's just a quiet day at the office and nothing happens.
Yep, exactly, yeah.
So who would you have the holodeck create who could escape from the holodeck and run rampant around the ship, who would just be a nice person to have around?
The Ultimate Warrior.
Yeah, Triple H.
Didn't have to think about it.
I was thinking more like someone like the Reverend Richard Coles. He'd be nice just to have hanging around the Enterprise.
Alan Titchmarsh. He'd be
Alan
quite
Titchmarsh.
Oh my
Judi
God,
Dench.
Yeah. Monty Dom.
Monty Dom, yes.
Monty Dom.
In the hydroponic garden.
Yep.
Yeah.
With
Peter Sellers and Dudley
Chief
Moore.
O'Brien's wife. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Peter Sellers
Can
and
you
Dudley
imagine
Moore would be funny.
Peter Sellers and Dudley Moore in the bar with Guinan?
In 10 Forward,
yeah.
They would have a great that would just be much better. Let's face it, we'd rather have that than Moriarty.
Yeah. But Dudley Moore just sitting on the piano, just playing a few tunes as well.
Archbishop Muzorewa. He'd be quite nice. Desmond Tutu. He'd be nice.
Yeah.
The Dalai Lama.
So I mean, you could do proper like fantasy dining table things, couldn't you? Those if you had to invite 10 people to a dinner party.
They did that, didn't they? Didn't Data have one where he
I think he did, didn't he?
With like Einstein.
He had like Stephen Hawking, who was in it for real. He was in it as himself, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was, because he was a fucking huge Star Trek fan.
Of course he was, massive fucking nerd.
Yeah, fucking nerd.
Fucking nerd. Because he voiced his own stuff in Futurama as well, despite that being, with absolutely zero disrespect intended, utterly unnecessary.
Yeah. It's in. No, I'm trying to find it. So yeah, it's not like a major part of it, I don't think, but
I think he's got like some conundrum or something to work out. So he has like the world's greatest scientists to dinner and chats about it with them.
I fucking love Star Trek. Shit like this is just like.
But like that shouldn't be. So if the computer can create a realistic replication of Stephen Hawking's thought process, you should be able to just ask the computer the answer to any of these problems.
Well, the computer is pretty good, to be fair.
But it shouldn't need to go to that. That's a very roundabout way of Googling something.
Yeah.
So there are. I was thinking there are a couple of things that I would love to do for real at one point, and I would love, and I don't know if it's ever possible. I'm sure you can do buy it as an experience, but I would love to drive a selection of World War II tanks, like the Sherman, T-34, Panzer IV, Tiger. Some really big, fucking clanky old tanks from the bygone era.
Yeah, and not drive them around like a little flagged off course. Literally just go herring through some woodland with it.
Yeah, properly
Yeah.
get them up to their top speeds of like, well, some of them could go about 35, 40 miles an hour, like, tearing across these big machines. Like, and then I would love to, like, you always see like in the films about Vietnam War, and I know it's awful war and all that sort of stuff, and it was, and the films like Platoon and stuff do a really good job. But like Apocalypse Now, just imagine being in a helicopter surrounded by loads of other helicopters flying in formation, like, not actually attacking anyone or strafing or anything, but just like doing all the maneuvers and stuff with the doors wide open and all that noise and Ride of the Valkyries and like that must be like a real adrenaline pumping experience.
That would get, if you need to get yourself like psyched up for a job interview or something, pop into the holodeck.
That'd be fucking brilliant.
That's better than like an uplifting Spotify playlist, isn't it?
Yeah.
I love this. Dan says if you really wanted to create chaos on the Enterprise, set up a swimming pool in a holodeck and throw in a bunch of gremlins.
That's true. That's true.
Hey,
this is G2, baby.
We could recreate that. We need to have a podcast where we talk about that because we talk about it too much as well.
We need to have a podcast about that sketch. Like
just that one sketch.
But I think even after we've quoted the whole thing in full, made people queue up the YouTube link and then sat there in silence for 4 minutes while we expect them to watch it and then talk about how good it is, you're still looking at maybe 10 minutes tops.
Yeah.
All right. Well, then we'll do the sweating one. That sweating sketch is brilliant, especially when
we'll do a love letter to Key and Peele at some point.
Especially when the fucking like that jet of water like starts spraying out the top of his head like some sort of whale's blowhole. Like it's all coming down his head and then just goes out the top of his head. Like
what's the sex detective as well?
Oh yes. Check the bathroom. Oh, that's gross.
Threesome.
Yeah. Good. He wanted to experience firsthand what he saw every day. It's so grim. Anyway, yes, Holodeck, Star Trek. I mean, the ships are pretty cool themselves anyway. If you had to be on one of them to go and be able to make members of the crew, it would be Voyager, because that's definitely, I think, the most attractive and cool crew.
I wouldn't go near Voyager. Voyager is a shit life. They're trapped out there. It's like
but not when I'm in the holodeck. No.
They don't use the holodeck because they've got to because their doctor died and they've got to use a holographic doctor.
Oh yeah, they have to turn off the holodeck, don't they?
Yeah.
Because I can imagine, like, guys, we're in the fucking Gamma Quadrant or whatever the hell it is. It's going to take us 450 million years to get home.
Yeah.
I'd be like, that sucks. At least there's a holodeck.
Yeah. That's all you need to do. Get everyone in the holodeck. Just, at the same time.
It'd be a morale booster.
Yeah.
Just let them do it. Turn the doctor off for a few hours. Let everyone.
Yeah.
I mean,
until the inevitable wave of sprained arms comes out of the holodeck and needs treatment.
Yeah. And mono. Everyone seems to have the kissing bug.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's a lot of dehydration going around.
Yeah. The replicator is absolutely out of coconut water now. So that for me, that's some of the enduring memories of us talking about the holodeck. Is doing impressions of coming out of the holodeck, incredibly dehydrated, gasping for coconut water.
Skeletal little shriveled claw. How long's it been?
Yeah, coconut water.
Oh, the things I've done in there.
I just need some salt.
I'm never going to be able to look. I'm going to be able to look LaForge in the face.
Yeah. Coconut water.
Someone said space herpes. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Space herpes. Don't touch any of the surfaces in the holodeck. Just go in, stand still, and wait for the world to be created. And then go nuts.
Yeah. Do you think it removes the smell as well?
I mean, you'd have to hope so.
I mean, if they're taking everything away and breaking it down into its constituent molecules, the only reason that things smell is because you're sniffing up molecules of that stuff. That's why when you smell food, you're breathing in poo. You know, you're not smelling the aroma of poo. It's actually poo particles in your nasal cavity.
Trillions
So
of tiny little
thought.
flying shits.
Yeah, yeah, little tiny turds. That's the thing. At a subatomic level, if the atoms of the thing that it was making looked like the thing but just a lot smaller, that would be really interesting. Like every atom of my smartphone basically just looks like the smartphone.
It's like a fractally small smartphone.
Yeah, and just loads of them together make one big one, and that's how magic and science works. Yeah,
could be on something there.
There we go. Duncan, debunk it if you like, but we all know that's what it is.
Dunk it. No. I thought there could be something. Could be something.
Well,
cool
if Duncan doesn't crash into the Zoom call any second now to tell us that's not how science works, we'll just have to assume that that's how science works.
That is how science works.
Hang on.
Yep.
No, that's it. That's science. There we go.
Yeah, Dan says they had to ration food from Voyager because of resource issues.
Yeah, I think with Voyager they just had to come up with a bunch of stuff to make it sound more dangerous.
Yeah, because they had to like collect food, didn't they, from planets that they were going past.
Well, isn't that why they picked up Neelix?
Yeah,
because he was like
I mean,
chef,
why the
wasn't he?
fuck else would you?
Wait, so they don't even have enough power? What?
Yeah.
Well, I think so. The replicators do need to be like resupplied every now and then. I imagine they have like a massive block of like protein and minerals and stuff that they keep, and it like pulls from it as it needs it. But you'd have to put stuff into the system every now and then.
Oh yeah, I guess that's the point, isn't it? It's like the chicken and the egg thing. It's like it can't just
It's
been
not like
sitting
that.
there. It can't have just been sitting there waiting for everyone to take their first dump aboard the new ship and be like, "Great, well I've got everything I need now.
Now
to
we
make
can eat
every delicious dinner that you guys will ever eat forever."
It's there's like no Voyager's just a bit of a shit situation. Phil says the only good thing about being on Voyager would be 7 of 9 or fantasizing about murdering Neelix. Neelix annoyed me a little bit, to be fair.
To be fair though, I quite like the idea of Mistress Janeway being incredibly rude to me. I just like the idea of her being
Mistress Janeway.
Yeah, that's from an advanced session in the holodeck, isn't it?
Yeah.
Mistress Janeway, I'm not kidding you, was actual erotic fan fiction that was written about Janeway
by you
when I was a teenager. No, I'm not going to take any credit away from the author of that fantastic series that got me through many a lonely night back when I was a younger man.
So a couple of points.
The last week has just flown by. Flown by. Good grammar.
Jamie said they grew food in the hydroponics bay in Voyager, and Dan says it is canon that replicators use human waste. Yeah,
that is how they're meant to work, isn't it?
Yeah, I will have a poo cocktail.
Please. I don't think there's much in the way of there's no plumbing in the Enterprise. If you when you flush the bog or empty a bath or something, everything just gets teleported away.
I'll have a stack of poon cakes, please.
Can you imagine someone just digging into a cup of tea and going, "Oh, did you eat hummus?"
Yeah. Oh, there's corn in this.
I think you would, even though 100% that's not how it would work.
Oh,
in your head,
be able to, yeah.
Like if you ate something, there's a bit of a lump there.
Should that be like that?
Oh. I half think Guinan's job was basically just to make sure you just kind of dealt with it, just went with it, basically.
What the psychological aftermath of having to come to terms with the fact that you now eat poo.
Yeah. It makes sense, though. It's not actually poo, is it? We discussed this. It's fine. I'm sure you just by that point in the future, they're far too advanced for us pricks, aren't they? So,
yeah.
Except for Barclay, he's a fucking wrong'un.
He's an absolute deviant.
He really is. That's not, as I say, that's the internet nice guy right there. And why do these nice women not like me when I've saved them several times?
Yeah, if there was a gritty reboot of Star Trek now, that would be a very different character.
He'd be the bad guy.
Yeah, I mean, he's hugely problematic. I mean, the way he's written, he's not okay.
No. But luckily, he's only in a couple of episodes, isn't he?
Yeah.
When
But he's
not in A-team.
the comic relief, creepy sex pest.
Yeah, it's a bit weird. And also, it kind of says that, all those really shy people, this is what they're thinking about most of the time. The dirty fucks. As well. Like, that's their fantasy.
Yeah, it's not cool.
Like, in terms of Star Trek, there is a way you could experience pretty much anything you wanted without using a holodeck, of course. And that is when Q appears on the Enterprise, just try and be mates with him.
Yeah, an option.
He's too unpredictable. He would
He'd enjoy fucking with you too much.
Yeah,
unless it benefits the Q continuum to some degree, or doesn't, then you ain't getting any cooperation out of that mofo.
Q is one of my favourite things about Star Trek. I love
Q is like he's like a like a god level creature who can do anything, which is a notoriously difficult thing to write well, and something that Star Trek would just drop in every third episode. They were meeting these like ultimate god level beings, but Q was actually interesting.
Yep, and they did such a good job with him as well, because he was such a prick to them.
He was. There was no way that guy was eating poo.
Yeah,
no.
But he was like, it was just something about the way he was just so committed to being a complete bellend to them for his own amusement.
He
could have destroyed them in the blink of an eye, but no, much more fun to just be a complete dick to them.
I love when he introduces them to the Borg. Like, you think you're ready for this? You're not ready for this. And then just boom, pushes them forward, and then here's a Borg cube. Have fun. You're fucked.
Yeah, and then flicks them back.
Yeah, with Patrick when Picard has to beg him first though to do that. It's fucking brilliant. It is such a good episode though. That's Encounter. Is that Encounter at Farpoint? No, Encounter at Farpoint.
That's the first episode
with the fence.
Yeah, Riker doesn't have a beard, and it's awful.
Yeah, it's a bit weird, and there's Tasha Yar is still in it at that point.
Yeah,
as well. I like Tasha. Thought she was quite good.
And she was terribly written.
Yeah, and she died horribly as well.
Hang on, this is supposed to be light. This is supposed to be us drawing a line under the holodeck.
I'm 90% certain Lieutenant Barclay saved her in holodeck simulations from that situation as well.
Yeah, definitely.
Oh dear.
What a wrong-un, eh?
What a wrong-un. A wrong-un.
But I think Star Trek The Next Generation is something I need to go back and watch again at some point soon. I haven't done it in a while.
I think Voyager's something I'd like to go back and watch. Maybe a bit of DS9 as well.
But DS9 doesn't get the love it deserves.
It doesn't.
That was a great show.
It's got a
Have you
great
seen that?
theme song as well.
There's an app called, I believe it's called Trek Tracker.
Yeah.
That you tell it what series you want to watch, and it will give you the order to watch them in, like to start meshing the series together. Because there's bits where DS9, TNG, and Voyager were all on at the same time, so you can watch them in the right order to sort of especially DS9 and Next Generation, they would have sort of stuff that would cross over.
I love that it was when Picard was Locutus. Cisco's ship. Yeah, Cisco's ship gets blown up, and it's Locutus that does it as well and kills his wife. What a great twist! Fucking DS9, that's good. Dan says that Tasha Yar was an early crush of his. Yeah, me too. God, I don't want to get too pervy with this. I know we've kind of crossed that line already a little bit, but I was always more Beverly Crusher. So there we go.
Fair play. Right, do we feel like we've gotten this out of our system?
Yeah. Oh, one thing. Wesley Crusher doesn't come anywhere near any of my holodeck sessions. Fuck that guy.
Fair dues. Russ, any final words?
No, I think we've exercised our holodeck demons, and we just have to accept that it's a nightmare demon machine that should never come anywhere near humanity.
No.
It's such a problematic idea for writing, but it also gave them so many ideas that they could then just kind of run with.
I think it got lent on as a shortcut a bit too much, but they did do some interesting stuff with it. But when they're in the writers' room going, and then maybe Moriarty comes to life and starts walking around, like that was clearly a 3 a.m. we have to get this episode handed in decision. Because
We
it
need
was not a
24
good
episodes.
idea.
I told you about my dad's Star Trek: The Next Generation video collection, didn't I? He had every single episode on video, and there were 2 episodes per video, and it took up a wall. I shit you not. There was a wall in my house that was all Star Trek: The Next Generation videos. It was crazy.
That's a relic of a bygone era.
Yeah, they used to
VHS.
release them 2 episodes at a time on to buy.
I'm pretty sure you could fit more than 2 episodes on a
Yeah,
tape.
but they were rinsing Star Trek fans for all their money
Well, yeah.
and doing quite a good job of it as well.
And they start releasing them 2 episodes to a DVD that you're being a real dick.
Yeah, or a
Yeah.
Blu-ray or something. Yeah, the 4K version. Here's 2 episodes of Star Trek.
So there we
You'll
go.
never, you'll
I've
never
got
get 4K Next Generation because it's all shot on video.
Yeah.
You can still.
Yeah, but
Still
it's
find it.
artificial.
Still find it.
You can't.
no, because it's only the digital shit that struggles, doesn't it? When
Yeah. So anything. So you can get 4K remasters of
Yeah.
the original series, no problem, because it's just a case of rescanning the film at a higher resolution.
Next Gen was on film as well, though, wasn't it?
Some of it was, some of it wasn't, and all the CGI stuff was created at TV resolution. So unless you go back and recreate all of the effects shots, you can't upscale them. There's some quite cool stuff being done with AI upscaling these days, though. But it's still janky.
Couple of comments. Phil says DS9 is low-key the best Star Trek series. Jamie says that they did a lot of training in the holodecks. That's very true. You can train to fight a variety of people in holodecks.
Yeah.
Very good point. Dan
Scrape
says,
the crusty jizz barnacles off the wall, and then we can get on with this fire safety training session.
There's a unique smell. Tom will realise this. When the practice studio we used to practice in, that if you followed a band in immediately, there is a unique smell of following a band into a soundproof room.
Yeah.
I would imagine the holodeck smelt like that, but worse.
Yeah. Do you remember those nights in the summer when we would practice there? And it was because there was no aircon or anything like that.
Yeah.
You would have a fan that would barely cool down a corner of the room, but all it would do would just circulate this kind of fog of armpit stank. Yeah.
I sweated so much once in one of those rooms that I was wearing a white t-shirt and a black guitar strap, and when I took the guitar off, there was a black mark all around
Wow.
where the guitar strap was because I'd been in there sweating because I refused to not jump around lots.
Do you remember that time?
That's a wonderful image to end on, isn't it?
Do you remember that time our first bassist, like we literally picked our guitars up, plugged in, and he just went, I can't do this, and unplugged his guitar, put it back in his bag, and left.
Yeah, I do remember that.
Remember that?
Yep, I do. Yeah.
Was he ill? I don't know what was going on. He just literally just was like, I can't do this tonight. Just walked off.
It's crazy. Yeah.
Yeah.
Dan
Anyway.
says, yeah, Beverly Crusher on the rebound. And
Yeah, okay.
Phil says, my dad had all the Star Treks on his video wall too. His wall
Nice.
video on his wall too.
There we go. So there we go.
Can I have the room quickly, please, Tom?
You can have the room quickly, yeah, before we
I
wrap
want
up.
I want us to do a World Cup of something.
Mm-hmm.
Why don't we
I'm
open
wondering
this
what-
up to some of our fans?
You know,
Because this
A,
is podcast admin.
yeah. I have an idea though, potentially, which is that we do a World Cup of James Bond films.
I am in up to my nuts.
It's not as big as the other ones we've done, but we could do what is the greatest James Bond film of all time, as voted for by the Too
We're
Much Time
doing it.
listeners.
Okay.
We're fucking doing it.
Might need to do it more of a wank and rank system rather than a World Cup, because you need a specific number of entrants to do a World Cup straight knockout.
Yeah, so it's just going to be like straight tournament, I think. Straight into tournament.
Yeah. So we can do our allocating points and then adding them up type thing that we did for the Marvel movies.
Oh. Let's
Yeah,
do
I think
that.
Ross is
Yeah,
right.
okay.
Yeah.
But I want to get everyone else involved in this as well. I want this to be like...
Yeah. We're going to need a while because there are some Bond films I'm going to have to go back and rewatch because I can't remember which one's which.
Yeah, some Bond films I'm too scared to watch because, racism. But,
Yeah, let's have a look. There are 25, 26, 27 Bond films if you count Casino Royale from the 60s and Never Say Never Again. but you could easily drop Casino Royale from the 60s and just have Never Say Never Again, and then you've got 26.
Are we including Thunderball?
Yeah.
Yeah, Thunderball, definitely.
Austin Powers?
Not today. No, that's a great idea. So that is going to be coming soon. Damn, phenomenal idea. Love it to pieces.
Cool.
Right, on that note, we have drawn a line under Holodeck chat. So that's it. So like Inside, we're now going to try and stop talking about the Holodeck.
We're going to lock the Holodeck. We're going to close it off.
Fucking jettison it into space. It's an awful contraption.
Just get rid of it. We don't need it for a while. It's also...
It is a power the likes of which humanity was not to be trusted with.
No, and to be fair, like you said, the jizz barnacles, we just cannot shift them.
Really...
So, we're just...
No matter how much the computer says it's cleaned it, the floor feels sticky.
It does. And I'm pretty sure that all the walls have moved in by at least 3 or 4 millimetres on each side. It just feels cramped in there now. It just feels cramped and a bit sticky.
There was a distinct cracking noise as we jettisoned the Holodeck, which wasn't anything to do with us jettisoning the Holodeck.
When the doors open, there's always a slight...
Yeah, just a wet popping sound.
Yeah.
The
floor is sticky, but you've tried mopping it several times. It's still sticky.
Yeah, it's like in the toilet of Paddy's pub in Always Sunny. There's that yuck puddle that just
never goes. Yeah,
never goes away. It's sort of solid and liquid at the same time.
But at least even there's not the risk of you walk past the door and the automatic door sensor just gets you at the wrong, and you have to, you see random crewman just helicoptering jizz around in his own personal fantasy. Oh, come on, I'm going to lunch.
I know what I'd do. I'd load up the fake taxi program.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Oh, that would... Yeah, okay, maybe for a bit. All right, so on that note, we've drawn a line under it. We're going to wrap it up. If, of course, you have any of your final thoughts about this, please do put them on our social media feeds.
I've got a couple of last comments. Give it 10 minutes before we mention it next week.
Yeah, fair dues.
Almost certainly. We need to taper off.
We do. We'll yeah, okay, fine. So it's not so much drawn a line as we have kind of... We got halfway down, and then we drew a little... downwards sort of bit. Just that might be a bit.
Drew a dotted line underneath it.
Dotted line, yes, a dotted line. We didn't tear off the page, we gently folded. Okay, so if you have any final thoughts, please do hit us up on our social media channels, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. It's at TMTOOH. And don't forget that in the link in our bio on our Instagram page will take you to our Discord server where you can talk about the Holodeck there if you like. And in fact, we could even start a channel all about Holodeck ramblings if you like, and we could carry on talking about Holodeck forever.
I think
Wouldn't advise it.
Idea.
Wouldn't advise it. Also, don't forget that next week we'll be back here at 9 o'clock on the stream on YouTube. So if you're there, thanks very much. Wave, guys. Just give them a quick wave, just to acknowledge. Thanks very much. And if you've listened to us on the podcast as well, thank you very much. You are very much in the majority right now. The streamers are actually in the minority. I know. Who knew the streamers would actually be in the minority when we hear that TikTok has actually overtaken YouTube in terms of viewed amount of time ever this year or week or something.
Every TikTok video lasts 10 seconds, so it kind of makes sense.
Exactly, but it's loads and stuff. So great, where
we are actually on TikTok. I've put one TikTok video up there.
Brilliant, we're there too. Great, so go on to TikTok as well at TMTOOH.
Like a good 90% of TikTok accounts who've got one video posted and then somebody's just gone, I don't really get this.
God, this is a lot of fucking effort.
Does sound it? Yeah, too much. So that's it. I'm going to say goodbye. No, there's
one more thing.
One more thing.
A couple of pods going up. I haven't put last week's pod for us up yet, so that's going to go up. Also, we did to celebrate the start of the NFL season, we did a podcast on our top 5 favourite sports films, Marveling Marvel. That's going up as well. And that's will be up as well. They'll all be up by the end of the week.
Very nice. Just remember, if you build it, they will come.
Yeah, it didn't make the list, but yeah, sure.
It did make the list. Field of Dreams. Shame. Real shame.
Is Field of Dreams a sports movie?
Yeah, of course it is.
Of course it is. Yeah, just
like... I would also suggest...
a sports movie.
Is it just slightly science fiction as well?
Just like Star Wars is sci-fi. And on that note, we are going to say goodbye to Russ.
Ta-ra.
Goodbye to Dan.
Goodbye.
And it's goodbye from me, Tom. And on that note, Ross, get ready. Let's cue the music.